Hey, it's Tanya Jones-Thibodeau, founder of Panoptic Foundations, and if you've ever thought about creating a website but gave up thinking it'd be too expensive or too complicated for you to do, then you're in the right place. Every day I hear from people who are stuck on the tech of their business, passion, or hobby. There's a common misconception that it's the tech that makes getting going online so difficult. Through my online training, I teach people that the reality is that the tech is nothing more than a series of clicks and typing. There are other components that are far more involved than the actual tech behind what you want to do. So I invite you to watch the following segment to see the simplicity behind creating a brand new website completely from scratch in less than 10 minutes. At the end of the video, I'll cover off the two things that makes what you're about to see possible, and what you need in order to make it possible for yourself. I hope you enjoy it. So the tech behind what you just watched was literally nothing more than a series of clicks and typing. But I'm sure you're thinking, yeah, fine, but you already know how to do all of that, and I don't know where to start. And fair enough, it's a valid point. But let me ask you this. If I said to you, and actually showed you how at the same time, open your browser and go to the website wordpress.com, would you be able to follow that instruction? If I then said to you, now click on the words in the top right corner that say Get Started, would you be able to follow that instruction? We both know that the answer is yes. So again, I stress the tech component isn't the problem. The reality is that you need two things to make the process of creating a website a smooth and simple process that even you can do. The first is that you need a plan. This isn't some fancy tech lingo. I literally mean that you need a few pieces of paper that have some specific information included on them. This is your plan, your outline, the information that you need for what you want to put into your website. During the video, you noticed that in the Word document I had over on the right, I would scroll down and copy certain pieces of information that I then pasted into specific areas of the website I created. It was the fact that I had that information ready in the first place that made it possible to build that first part of a website in less than 10 minutes. The second component that made it possible for me to do this was a set of steps to follow. Again, that Word document that I had open over on the right had a list at the top of the page of the exact steps I was going to need to do to go from nothing to a completed home page. My one advantage is that I did already know exactly where to go to find the areas that I needed to be to do those steps. But even for me, without that list of steps, the whole process takes much longer because I then have to stop and think about what steps I need to take, and often I'll forget steps and then have to go back and do them over. Well, right now you might not be able to follow those steps as an outline and create the same web page in less than 10 minutes. What I do know is that when you're given the instruction along with those steps that tells you exactly where you need to go, what you need to click or type, and then what you need to do, the process will be much faster than if you simply jump in and try to do this process on your own with no plan and no guidance. I also know that working through these lessons in an online school will be even faster for you. In fact, I know from experience that the exact process I just completed in less than 10 minutes actually takes 3 to 4 hours for a group of complete beginners to finish in one of my live in-person workshops. However, what I also know from experience is that the exact same process actually only takes up to just 1.5 hours for a complete beginner to finish in their own home through my online courses. And I have even seen some complete the process for the very first time in less than an hour. There are several factors that come into play, with the biggest one being confidence. Some beginners will watch one of the lessons at double speed and immediately complete the action from that lesson in mere minutes. Other beginners will watch one of the lessons at regular speed twice before they try to implement the action from the lesson. And even then, they go back to the lesson video to make sure that they're about to click the right thing. There is absolutely nothing wrong with either of these approaches, and it doesn't make one person more likely than another to succeed, because everyone will ultimately work through the lessons at a pace that is comfortable to them, and they will end up with the same results when they follow the instructions. The point of this video is to introduce you to how simple creating a website can in fact be when you have a plan and a guide. Watch the next video to see what it's like to work within my online course.